Hi everyone, I made a series of these foil albums and my friend Mary admired them, so I've now made her one, and this is the front of it. Let me see if I can stop that glare. There's the front. Which is green foil. And it's got black there. It's primarily green and black, including this little G45 tag. I've put Mary's name on and added some bling. This is green foil. I've got a black peel off basket of flowers there, a green and a black ribbon here, black and white, some green bling going up here, and the enclosure is one of these clips with some burgundy ribbon on it. So we'll go to the first page. Right, the first page there is, I always put a greeting tag into things that I'm gifting, and that's just a greeting tag to Mary, and it's held by a band there. Further down is a little piece of card I cut, stamped journal on, stamped a fountain pen nib, added a little bow and filled it with lots of tiny tags and tickets. Like me, Mary loves lots of pockets and tags and what have you, so I've really put quite a few in here for her. Moving on to the red. I've made a vellum pocket, had a sheet of this vellum paper with keys on, and I've made a vellum pocket and I've made two vellum tags, and I've threaded them with some red ribbon to match the red foil, the page that they were in. Further up here I've got a green paper clip, and I've added some of the burgundy ribbon, which is also on the enclosure page, so that matches that. She can put a photo or pin something underneath that. Just put a couple of little black peel off flowers in the corners there. Next page, I've made this sewing theme tag. Made it out of green cardstock, stamped a vintage sewing machine there, and I covered the front with gold paper, a pair of sewing scissors, that's a charm, a die cut of scallop dovle out, stamped it with a vintage sewing machine, distressed all the outsides, popped a button on and threaded it with cotton, the same shade as this burgundy ribbon, which is also on the enclosure clip and the memento clip. I thought it was such a nice tag, I didn't want to cover half it up in a pocket, so I've made a transparent pocket here, and that just fits in there, and you can still see the whole of the tag. I think that looks quite nice. And in keeping with the sewing theme, I've done a 3-page spread, all to do with sewing. These are all things you'd find in a sewing room. These are 1950s sewing patterns, and there's the red tag. I've entitled this 3-page spread The Sewing Room, and there it is. I think Mary will really like that. I quite like it myself. I feel like keeping it now. And there's all the things. I love that tape measure. I love the the big one, and I love the curly one, the one curled up. And that's got a magnetic closure. And on this side I've done a band to match the paper that the sewing patterns are on, and I've just popped in 2 tags in there. I won't get them both out, but going in with the foiled and holographic theme, there's one of the tags, and on the back I've just stamped journal, and Mary can journal on these as she goes through. Moving on to the next page. Here's the gold page, which I've done. This was a die cut that I'd bought, and I'd cut it down to fit the width of the page, and I've made it into a pocket, and I've stuck. I cut this paper. I think this is from the All Aboard collection. I'm almost sure, but I'm not certain. Anyway, I cut that into a tag shape, and I've stamped journal there, and I've given it 2 corners. It's quite a tall tag. Then I've done two foil holographic pages here, sorry, tags, and I've stamped journal on those. I've put a couple of these. I forget what paper this is from. I can't think, but I've cut that out, and I've stamped journal, and I've done a pen nib on that, and I've put a couple of tickets in, just a couple of tickets inside, as well as all the tags. On this side I've done a photo mat, and I've put a little tag up here so she can title the photo that's there, and she can also, all the pages are put on this side, the gold side, all the tags she could journal on those. Now on the back, Mary absolutely loves her coffee, and I found an image here of a steaming hot cup of coffee, and I've stuck a sachet of coffee and Demerara sugar for her so she can make herself a coffee. When she peels these off, there'll just be a tiny bit of glue, and if you just rub it with your thumb like that, Mary, it'll come off right away. Enjoy the coffee. There's a piece of lace I've just decorated that page with. Going back to the front of the tag, I've given 3 large internal pockets, and I've put a photo mat in each one. Now this is the first one. I've stamped journal, and I've put an ink pen nib there, and this opens up, and there's a space there for 2 different size photographs, and I've stamped all the corners. In keeping with the green theme, I've given them green tabs, which Tara sends me. Thanks, Tara. And the back there is the stamped corners again to fit a photo inside there. That slips in the first pocket. The second pocket has got this. It's mimics a piece of fool's cap paper, but it's card, and it's got the lines across, and it says journal, and she can journal on that side and perhaps put a photograph on that side. I've stamped the 4 corners to frame a photograph. And the third and final pocket, this is just a piece of cardstock patterned, and I've stamped the 4 corners to give it a photo frame, and I've done the same on that side. So plenty of room for lots of photographs and plenty of opportunity to journal, and a cup of coffee into the bargain. So I hope you like all that, Mary, and thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks. Any comments, gratefully received. Thank you. Bye.